Model Jasmine Tookes made history at the 2025 Victoria's Secret fashion show in New York City after walking the runway while 9 months pregnant. The California-born supermodel opened the show in a glowing, baby bump-bearing gold ensemble that immediately sent social media into overdrive. Cameras flashed as the crowd rose to its feet. Tookes wasn't just modeling lingerie, she was redefining what strength and beauty look like in the modern fashion world. As the lights dimmed and the music swelled, Jasmine stepped into the golden spotlight with the calm confidence of a woman who knew exactly what she was doing. Every step shimmered with poise, every movement seemed to silence the room. The runway, so often a symbol of perfection, had never felt so human, so alive. The audience watched in complete awe as she paused at the end of the catwalk, hands gently cradling her stomach, and smiled. It wasn't a pose, it was a moment. And in that single heartbeat, she changed what it meant to walk for Victoria's Secret. Her outfit was a masterpiece in itself. A sheer fishnet gown spun from threads of gold, its lattice-style pattern adorned with teardrop-shaped gems that glittered under the lights like drops of sunlight. Instead of the classic wings that once defined the brand, she wore a sculpted, Botticelli-inspired clamshell cape, a shimmering structure that curved around her like ocean waves frozen in time. Tiny, pearl-tipped wires reached upward from its edges, glowing softly with each step she took. On her feet, metallic gold sandals that seemed to catch every flash in the room. It wasn't just fashion. It was symbolism. The clamshell, the gold, the pearls, it all hinted at birth, femininity, and transformation. Backstage, even the models were whispering. You could see it in the faces of the crowd, half disbelief, half admiration. People weren't just watching a model walk. They were witnessing a milestone. The image of Jasmine, radiant and unbothered, carrying new life down the same runway that once demanded perfection, was something no one could look away from. Social media erupted within minutes. "This is the most powerful moment in VS history," one fan tweeted. "She didn't just walk the runway, she owned it," wrote another. When Jasmine finally disappeared behind the curtain, the applause lingered long after. Backstage, amid the chaos of stylists, lights, and cameras, she pulled out her phone. A quick mirror selfie, makeup still flawless, smile soft, exhaustion barely hidden, and she posted it instantly. "OMG, what just happened?" she wrote across the image. Within minutes, her story went viral. On TikTok, she shared a short video from the moment she stepped out, captioned, "Can't believe I just opened the show 9 months pregnant." Fans from around the world flooded her. Comments with heart emojis and words like icon, queen, and inspiration. But behind that viral moment was something deeper. A love story and a legacy that stretched far beyond the runway. Jasmine Tookes married her husband, Juan David Borrero, in 2021 in a sun-soaked ceremony that looked like a dream. Since then, she had built a quiet, grounded life far away from the chaos of fame. The couple welcomed their first daughter, Mia Victoria, in February 2023. In July 2025, Jasmine announced her second pregnancy with a simple, heartfelt Instagram caption, "Another little soul to love." The photo showed her smiling, cradling her growing belly. No press release, no fanfare, just authenticity. That's what made her runway moment hit differently. It wasn't about shock value. It was about truth. About a woman showing the world that life doesn't stop when motherhood begins. When she walked that runway, she wasn't hiding the reality of who she was celebrating it. And in doing so, she made it clear that strength and softness can exist in the same stride. The next morning, every major outlet, from Vogue to Harper's Bazaar, had her photo on their homepage. Headlines called her radiant, trailblazing, and the face of a new era. Fans began using hashtags like Njak Jasmine Tookes, sa pregnancy runway, and sa VS power. For once, the conversation wasn't about body standards, competition, or fantasy. It was about empowerment. About how one woman reminded an entire industry what real beauty looks like. And this wasn't the first time pregnancy had graced a VS runway. Back in 2016, Irina Shayk walked while secretly 6 months pregnant with her and Bradley Cooper's child. But where Irina's pregnancy was kept quiet, Jasmine's was front and center, a celebration instead of a secret. The contrast was stunning. It showed how far fashion had evolved, from concealing to embracing, from image to authenticity. For Victoria's Secret itself, this moment meant everything. Once a brand built on fantasy, it had spent years rebuilding its image, championing diversity, inclusion, and real stories. Jasmine's walk felt like the turning point that made those promises tangible. She wasn't there to sell perfection. She was there to show truth. And truth, it turned out, was far more beautiful than anything scripted. Backstage photos later showed Jasmine barefoot, laughing softly with other models, still glowing under the warm backstage lights. Someone handed her a bottle of water. Another hugged her from behind. You could see the joy in every candid frame. No filters, no posing. Just a woman who had done something extraordinary and made it look effortless. As videos from the show circulated online, people began to realize the deeper symbolism. The clamshell cape wasn't just a design, it was a metaphor. Birth, rebirth, creation. It reflected both her personal journey and the transformation of the brand itself. For decades, VS had built its empire on fantasy, but in that moment, Jasmine Tookes became the face of something far more real. The days that followed felt like a wave of gratitude and admiration. Interviews flooded in, yet Jasmine stayed humble. "I'm just thankful," she said softly in one clip, "to have been able to share this moment with my family, my team and my daughter watching one day." That quote alone spread across headlines again, proof that humility can shine. Louder than any headline, fashion critics called it the moment that finally closed one chapter and began another. Not just for Victoria's Secret, but for women everywhere. The message was simple. Motherhood isn't the end of glamour. It's another form of it. Jasmine didn't just walk in heels and gold fabric, she carried two hearts with her. The show's producers later revealed that Jasmine's opening walk wasn't even planned to be the headline moment. But when she arrived for rehearsals, radiant and calm, everyone knew the spotlight belonged to her. One creative director called it the most emotional rehearsal we've ever had. When the curtain finally fell that night, the world knew something had changed. The crowd left buzzing with admiration. Social media feeds stayed flooded for days, and somewhere between the stage lights and the applause, a quiet truth took hold. Beauty isn't about perfection. It's about power, presence, and peace, because Jasmine Tookes didn't just open the 2025 Victoria's Secret fashion show, she opened a conversation, a mindset, and a future, one golden step at a time.